So let's talk a little bit about Tomoe River Paper, and hopefully I can get this right. All right, so there's a little bit of confusion that I could see in regards to Tomoe River Paper, that there's a few terms that we want to consider or bring to light. So let's just go here and talk about it. All right, so what pen do we have here? I'm looking for my favorite pen. I don't see it. That makes me sad. It's here somewhere, but all right, well, we'll use this one. So we have, actually, I'm gonna use this one because I don't know if you will be able to see that one. It's such a faint writing. So we have, I don't know how to say this properly. If it's Tomoegawa or Tomoegawa. So I'm just going to choose one, and you can correct me below if I'm wrong. Because I've heard people say Tomoe River Paper and Tomoe River Paper. I think it's Tomoe because I have some, I should have asked. I have some people in the family who speak a little bit of Japanese, and so I'm going to say Tomoegawa. Okay, so Tomoegawa is a business that ran a plant that produced TRP, Tomoe River Paper, okay? And in that plant, they had, for years and years, one machine, number 7, that would produce just going to give it a little lever here. I have no idea what the machine looks like. That produced Tomoe River Paper. All right, so, and then those would get turned into a book. Cool. And then machine number 7 started to have problems, and Tomoegawa was struggling to, I don't want to put my own narrative in this, but I'm just based on what I've heard over the years. So they were struggling with machine number 7. They were having issues. So then they moved and were like, okay, we're going to try machine number 9. So I don't know if this, I don't know the situations between these machines. All I can tell you is that there's a machine number 7 and a machine number 9, and that both machines put out Tomoe River Paper that gets produced into a planner that we all love and use. Now, machine number 7 is what people would say the holy grail of Tomoe River Paper. Like, it is the original that's been used for years and years and years, that everybody loves. And what are some good things about it? It is very popular in the fountain pen community because it is known for handling fountain pen ink very, very well. It has some sort of film on top of the paper that doesn't allow bleed through with fountain inks. It allows for a smooth write across, and there's a very famous crinkle that comes with this paper that it's almost like, it reminds me of like an onion skin Bible that my mom had when she was little. But the crinkle, and even the crinkle in the 2024 Wonderland 222 is different because this paper is different. So let's see. And the crinkle differs if the paper is written on or not written on. And especially if you're writing with a ballpoint pen and you are a hard press into the paper like I do, the crinkle like magnifies, and it is the most glorious sound and feeling to turn the pages. But so just I don't know if you can hear a difference or not, but so I'm pretty sure that these planners that I read earlier were Sanzen. So anyhow, back to the paper. So Tomoegawa machine number 7 is the holy grail of Tomoe River paper. Then that machine started to have issues, so Tomoegawa moved over to machine number 9. Still a very fabulous paper. And in fact, machine number 9 paper, Tomoe River paper, is what I'm writing on right now. That is this paper right here. Then after that, Tomoegawa decided, you know, to just shut down. Like, they couldn't get it to work exactly the way they, I don't know why they shut it down actually. I'm just making up stories. Couldn't get it to work. Maybe they ran out of money. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I'm not that deep into it, but so now we have 2 versions of TRP from Tomoegawa company. Okay. Goodness gracious. And that is machine number 7 paper and machine number 9 paper. Most Tomoe River paper aficionados would probably, given the choice, choose machine number 7 paper, because that is the original, what's been used for decades upon decades. And so there's that. All right. So when Tomoegawa decided we're going to shut her down, we're not going to be producing Tomoe River paper anymore, a company named Sanzen came in. And Tomoegawa sold the rights to make Tomoe River paper to this company called Sanzen, or this business. So now Sanzen has their plant and they produce Tomoe River paper. But it's not the same as this. Their formula is a little bit different. The coating on the paper is a little bit different. But it's still Tomoe River paper, and it's good Tomoe River paper. And that Tomoe River paper was used in, I can't remember the years, but we're going to say it's been used in planners in 2024, in possibly 2023. And I think it might actually go all the way back to 2022. I don't know. It goes further back, because back at this time I used to use a completely different planner, and that planner company chose to just not even try to hang on to number 7 TRP or number 9 TRP. They were like, we're out. We're going to create our own paper. And they went with their own paper version. So there are, I'm going to take it back to 2022, but I think it goes back further than that. Anyhow, so we'll just go back to 2022. So we'll say that, and then we've got 2025 in here, right? So there's these years where this paper has been being used. It's still a great paper. It is, I think, what people in the planner community who were in love with Tomoegawa number 7, machine number 7 paper would say it's the next best thing. I think people would probably say number 7 is the best, number 9 is the next best, and Sanzen is the next best after that. That's my perception. I could be wrong. If you disagree, comment below. That's cool. But now we have another company that is producing Tomoe River paper. So if you see on a listing on a product page, just TRP, then you want to ask the question, Which TRP? Which TRP is that? If they're saying they have Tomoe River Paper, which Tomoe River Paper is it? And when we say which, there's a couple of things. So Tomoe River Paper has varying thicknesses. For example, there is 52 GSM, and I think there's a 65 GSM. There's a 60 something, and it goes on up. And that's just talking about how thick the paper is. When you start to get into Sanzen Tomoe River Paper, there is also a 47 GSM. Okay, so which TRP? What is the thickness? What is the color? There are cream color and there's white color. And also equally important is, what is the company? Is this Tomoe River Paper from Tomoegawa? Or is it Tomoe River Paper from Sanzen? Okay, and so if I saw an advertisement that said, hey, we have Tomoe River Paper, I'm gonna ask these three things minimum. What's the thickness? What's the color? What company is it? And once you know what company is it, then you might wanna know either what year was it produced or what machine. So for example, if I said, hey, I have a planner that is Tomoe River Paper, and I ask you which company, oh, I have it from Tomoegawa company. Oh, okay. So, but wait, is it machine number 7 Tomoegawa or is it machine number 9 Tomoegawa? So you would want to know the machine in the case of Tomoegawa, right? Either one of these are going to be fabulous papers, if you want the honest truth, in my opinion. And then if someone says, hey, I have a planner that is Sanzen, that is Tomoe River Paper, and you say, oh, really? From which company? And I say, it's from Sanzen. Then you might want to ask, oh, okay, what year? Because now we're finding out that in 2025, there is some Sanzen Tomoe River Paper that is having issues. And some people are saying that it is just bad batches. Some of the companies that have produced books with this paper in it are just denying that it has issues at all. But from what I have seen so far, and we are not even in 2025 yet. What I've seen so far is that this 47 GSM is paper that is showing varying batches that bleed and have what you would say maybe severe ghosting. And if you go to Reddit, you can find those pictures. And if you go to YouTube, you can also find videos where people show using their pens in previous years of a specific brand's planner and using their pens in 2025 year of that planner and having that has this 47 GSM Sanzen Tomoe River Paper and seeing a vast difference in the performance and difference of like seeing really severe ghosting to bleed through. And so that begs the question. So you would want to know like, okay, what year? Now, if you're buying a year 2025 planner that has Sanzen Tomoe River Paper, then you're going to probably want to be asking the question, or I would, what's the thickness of that paper? And, what planner is it from? So here we are. So now we're in 2025. We know that there are at least quote unquote bad batches of 47 GSM Sanzen Tomoe River paper. And we know that there is a company that is producing planners with that paper, and some people are receiving those planners and they're not having any problem at all. And other people are receiving those planners and they're like, hey, yo, this is not okay. And they've gone to the company and the company is like, nope, just don't press so hard on the paper. Or these are all things that I've read. So what part of it is true, I don't know, other than I can tell you I've seen the pictures and the videos that show the massive bleed through on even pens like a Micron, which has never been an issue for bleeding through on Tomoe River paper in times past that I'm aware of. So now we know the little bit of the history of Tomoe River paper. Started with Tomoegawa. They had two machines, number 7, number 9. They ended up closing down. They sold the rights to create Tomoe River paper to Sanzen. Sanzen came out and started making paper in planners. It's still a great paper. It's not the same as the Tomoegawa Tomoe River paper. Unless they fired their machines back up, it would be probably hard to ever even get the paper back to what it used to be like. But it's still a great paper. It still performs well. It still performs well with fountain pens. In fact, this is a fountain pen, and so on and so forth. And it's still a good paper. And so if you can't get these, then you would probably want to get this. Like that's kind of how it goes. But then up until 2025, because now in 2025, we're seeing issues with some of the Sanzen Tomoe River paper. Not all, just some. And so what we don't know that leaves a big question mark is, are these quote unquote bad batches, are they 47 GSM only? Or does it span outside of 47 GSM? Does it also impact 52 GSM? Now, I know that there's one brand that uses the 47 GSM, and they're the only brand that I'm aware of that uses the 47 GSM. I believe I read somewhere that it was created especially for that company. But what I've seen recently is that there's another company, a planner company, that is creating planners with 52 GSM Sanzen paper. And that company is also having issues with their planners. So that's an indicator that it might be more broad spread, more than just the 47 GSM paper. We don't know that yet. I don't know. I haven't had time to research further. But for the purposes of this video, here's what I want to say. So how does all of this play into Wonderland 222? Wonderland 222 in 2025 is using Tomoegawa machine number 9 Tomoe River paper. And so we know that this paper has stood the test of time. It's been accepted in the planner community. It's been used. To my knowledge, there was not people complaining about huge amounts of bleed through like what's being complained about this year. So the complaints this year for these bad batches is bleed through. And I'm not talking, what I saw was not just a little bit of bleed through. Like it rendered the page on the other side unwritable, that kind of bleed through. And then people say severe ghosting. Tomoe River paper is always ghosted. I have a planner from 2018 with that paper. It's always ghosted. And what is ghosting, you might add? ask if you're not sure what ghosting is. Ghosting is when you write on a paper and you look at the other side, you might see like the ghost of what I wrote. So here you see the ghost of what I wrote 2025, right? And so, but there's a difference between this type of ghosting and then ghosting that is so dark that it interferes with writing on the other side of the page. And that's what people are reporting for 2025 Sanzen 47 GSM at least. All right, so how does this play into Wonderland 222? So 2025 Wonderland 222 planner. For their dated planners for 2025, they are using Tomoegawa machine number 9 paper. This is the last of their machine number 9 Tomoegawa paper. Once it's gone, is what they have said. So if you want to grab any of this paper, and they're the only planner company that I'm aware of in 2025 that is actually still using the Tomoegawa Tomoe River paper. So if you want to get any of this before taking a chance in the future of what is happening this year, then you're going to want to grab either a dated planner from 2025 year Wonderland 222 and also their notebooks. So the 2025 notebooks of Wonderland 222 have the Tomoegawa. I'm going to laugh if I'm pronouncing this wrong this whole video. Machine number 9 paper. Now, Wonderland 222 for 2025 also offers undated planners. So theoretically, the mind wants to say, oh snap, like we're headed into scarcity with the original Tomoegawa paper. I want to grab all I can, so I'm going to go get an undated book from Wonderland 222. I'm going to get several, in fact, so that I will have this sacred paper for years to come, and I'll just date my planners. But you can't, because the undated 2025s for Wonderland 222 are Sanzen paper. Now, what they're saying is that they being Wonderland 222 are saying that, hey, we're not, I mean, they're completely transparent with this, and they're like, we're not really sure if we got bad batches or not, but we're going to go through today. So today is October, oh my God, what's the date? October 15th, 2025. So they're going to be going through and doing some testing and letting us know, did they get bad batches or not? And I don't know how they're probably going to have to ruin a couple of their planners that they can sell to do that. So how graceful of them to do that. And also, okay, so a car just pulled up in my driveway. So hold on. Well, that was fun. Okay, I'm back. We don't have hot water currently, so that was the guy to come fix the hot water heater. Anyhow, now I gotta regroup and figure out where we left off. So 2025 Wonderland 222. It's typical to think, even I was like this, oh my goodness, I'm gonna go grab some 2025 undated so that I can have this wonderful Tomoegawa Tomoe River paper for years to come, and I don't have to worry about anything that happens with batches in the future, because we know that there are quote unquote, well, we don't know, but according to the internet, there are reports of bad batches of the Sanzen Tomoe River paper, specifically with the 47 GSM, which is a custom thickness of Tomoe River paper for a specific brand. But now I am also hearing that there are issues with the 52 GSM for a different brand. So that I have not had time to investigate. So I thought, well, I'm going to go grab some 2025 undateds from Wonderland 222 because I'm going to grab onto as much of this as I can, and I'll just redate my planners or date my planners in the future. But then I found out that the 2025 undated is actually sans and paper. So that's not a possibility. So what do you do for those of us who are fountain pen users, who are big Tomoe River Paper fans, if you want to grab up some of this? I'm going to tell you how you can get that before the year is up, or before it all sells out. So Wonderland 222 has planners that have the machine number 9 Tomoegawa Tomoe River Paper. And they also have, this is gonna wreck you if you're like me. They also have some machine number 7 Tomoe River Paper, which is like the holy grail, best of the best Tomoe River Paper that was in production for years and years and years. They have some of that, and I'm gonna tell you what's what for Wonderland 222 according to the administrator of the Wonderland 222 Facebook group, which, by the way, if you're not in it, you're going to want to come into that group, because that's how you're going to stay, or get on their mailing list, because that's how you're going to stay up to date on what's available and when or if they ever allow this number 7 paper to become available. Okay, so here's what they've got for 2025. The dated planners are Tomoegawa machine number 9. The notebooks for 2025 are Tomoegawa machine number 9. The undated planners in 2025 are the sans and paper. Now, this is 2025. Well, I don't want to speak out of line. It is for the 2025 version. I don't know what year sans and paper it is, but what Wonderland 222 has said is that we're going to go through and we're going to test this sans and paper in our A5 undateds to make sure that this is a good batch. So as of October 15th, 2024, we have a question: are these a good batch? And they will verify that very, very soon. So if you want the answer to that, look for the link in the description of this video and come to the Wonderland 222 Facebook group, because I'm sure that the administrators will be posting updates there. Also consider getting on their mailing list from their website, because they do have a blog and they do put out updates to their community via their mailing list. So, all right, so that is for 2025, and that's what's available to you in 2025. So if you're buying a 2025 Wonderland 222 planner and you are trying to get the machine number 9 Tomoegawa Tomoe River Paper, oh, it's so hard for my tongue to like roll that all together, then you're going to want to buy either a dated planner or a notebook. Excuse me, or all of the above. You could get a dated planner and a notebook. Now, the dateds do include their all-in-one. So they have, I just went and got my box. They have beautiful colors this year. So these are 2025 colors. This is hazelnut. This is Kermode Bear, I think it's called. I also ordered it's the blue. I can't remember what it's called. Deep, I want to say it's deep something, but I'm not sure. I would have to go look at their website. I have not opened all of these. And then they have this beautiful Seattle Roast Brown. That's all the colors that I can show. Maybe I can get a clip of a picture off their website. Oh, and this, oh my goodness, this one. It's like a gold. It's like a metallic gold. This is such a gorgeous book. Like, it goes so well with any of them. These two, ooh, so nice. But yeah, the way that their colors, this is called Perfect Pine Cone. It's just, I'm telling you, the pictures do it no justice. This one also, this is sort of like a champagne, but it's like a pearlescent sort of color, and the lighting in here is not fabulous, just to say. Outside would be better lighting. This is more a metallic sort of cover, and this one feels more, even through the wrapping, it feels more textured. This one feels more buttery. Anyhow, so these are the colors that I have gotten so far. I definitely will be going back to order more because I am one of the people who want that Tomoegawa Tomoe River Paper. So they do have a core planner, which is this thick, which just provides the year, and then you get a few pages in the back. Let's see, I don't know why I can't ever commit this to memory. I think it's like 88. So yeah, you've got from page 201 to 288. So that gives you some pages in the back to do what you will. And then they also have these nice 90 something, I think they're like 92 page notebooks, so that if you do end up using all this paper in the back and you want some more, you can just, you know, have maybe one of these in every quarter. There's enough pages in here to get you through a quarter if you use a page per day. And so that's all that you would ever have to carry. Also, some people like me use these books to have annual or yearly data in front. So anything, birthday lists, things that you want to carry with you from year to year. I call mine a yearbook, and that way I don't have to duplicate that information over and over and over again. So I always have a yearbook in my planner setup. But these are also handy for collections, for project tracking, anything of the sort. These are really fabulous. So these are available in that machine number 9, Tomoegawa Tomoe River Paper. All of these are the dated versions. And then you have so here's what I was trying to show you is the core, which is the 288 page. And then you have the all-in-one, which is like almost 600 pages, 500. Let me see. Let me check my all-in-one from this year, and I will tell you. And here's just a little bit of how it has chunked up through the year. And that is not with a ton of like sticker. I mean, you can still see I have plenty of pages, but it has 576 pages for the 2024 version. So I haven't opened my 2025, but they also have stacked and unstacked versions. So what does that look like? The stacked version looks like, I think this is a stacked, no, this is not stacked. Okay. The stacked version looks like, let me find one that I did not use from when I was off in training. The stacked version looks like this, except for 2020 and 2025. Here's a stacked version. Let's just open it and I'll show you. I'll show you the 2025 stacked version. Let me find, I'm trying to get all of this recorded before my husband gets home, and because then there's going to be a lot more background noise going on. But oh my god, this color is so beautiful, and this is that same buttery, luxurious feel, and wow, it looks so much different outside of the plastic. This is beautiful. I love this blue. Okay, focus, Jody, focus. All right, so this is the, and you can tell on the back, B6 core stacked. So core means it's the 288 page version. Stacked means that the weekends are stacked. So here is a difference of, that's from the 2025 to the 2024. for in previous versions. So if you are an artist like me and you were really felt like it sent you bonkers to have that shaded weekend on your weekly layout, Wonderland 222 has now taken that shading off. I was so happy to see that change. I freaking love the changes that they have done. The margins, they've closed those in, so the gap is not so big, so you have more real estate here for writing. Anyhow, they did go ahead and keep the headers a little bit darker to signify that it's the weekend, but there is the difference of a 2024 version of stacked and a 2025 version of stacked. And then they have the unstacked, and the unstacked is this one where the weekends are not stacked and you have like every day looks the same. So both versions are available for 2025. I haven't tried the unstacked yet. I love the stacked, and I am glad that I ordered a stacked because for me, I can journal for a day in this stacked. I don't know how much journaling I could get done in the unstacked, so we will see, but my idea is that I would use one for a health tracker and then one for a memory keeper. Or I don't know. I'll figure it out, but I'm just excited to have these. So anyhow, so back to Tomoe River Paper. So just that was to give you a look at the 2025 versions where the shading is no longer there on the weekends in the stacked, and the shading is not there in the unstacked. So these are super clean layouts. You don't have funky colors interfering. You've got extra wide columns if you choose the unstacked version. It is just one of the most well thought out planners. And I will say that the owners are also very mindful and conscientious, and they are earth conscious. They have shifted from bubble wrap to more earth friendly packaging, and they're working on even improving that more. They also, you know, in times past have given the opportunity to plant a tree with your purchase, or they've done beach cleanup efforts. They're just, it's just a wonderful company. They listen to their community, and they do incorporate changes such as removing the shading on the weekends, and also the birth of the unstacked because it was so highly requested. So they do make changes, but they always keep their core product, and any changes that they have made to their core product over the years have been very mindful and minimal, but often community driven. So it's a brand that you can trust and rely on. And yeah, so there's that. All right, so back to the Tomoegawa Tomoe River Paper and what is available to you from Wonderland 222. So the 2025 undated is Sans and Paper. Wonderland 222 are doing testing currently as this video is being made, I believe, to test to see if this is a good batch or a bad batch of the Sans and Paper. And they will be transparent with that because they have been transparent all along. They're a pretty transparent company. You'll see if you join the Facebook group, like it just feels like Wonderland 222 has always got your back. And they're open and good-hearted, genuine people who appear to want to do the right thing. So you can get the Tomoegawa machine number 9 paper in the dated planners and the notebooks for 2025. And if you go back through the years, then we go to 2024. They're dated and notebooks. So the dated planner that I just showed you, my all-in-one B6 from 2024, is Sanzen Tomoe River Paper. So their 2024 books are Sanzen Tomoe River Paper. And I will just show you a series of pen tests that I did. So there's a whole bunch of pens that I tested, and well, this is the other side, but there was only bleed through on, I believe it was a Memento. Yes, a Memento, which has bled through this one even bled through the Tomoe River Paper, I'm pretty sure, like the original number 7. Like, I've never been able to use these Mementos in any of my planners, but there's tons of mild liners, dot markers, all of the above, and very, very good results with these. So, and this is just my color palette of Tombos that I was testing, and then here, this is not bleed through. At least I don't think it is. Let me make sure that I'm being truthful. Yeah, that's not bleed through. That's actually more testing that I started to, you can see it's green on the other side. So there is the shadowing that you would see on their 2024s with pen tests. And this is even like paint, and it's a layered paint. So this one is like 1, 2, 3, 4 layers at this point down here. And so with 4 layers, I would expect to see, okay, so with 4 layers with certain types of inks, and especially with a lot of water, you would see a little bit of bleed through. And I would expect that. And I would expect that on multiple of the planners. I'm not sure if the original TRP did that or not, because I didn't do stuff like that in my original TRP to that degree. I did paint, but I didn't do like layer upon layer upon layer. So also, let's see, what else was I gonna say? Oh, the Sharpie. So a Sharpie, and this is like the permanent marker Sharpie. So that one did bleed through just a little bit. And actually, here's what's interesting. So here's Memento again. Here's 2 different shades of Memento, and there's that red shade, and here it is up here again. And you can see that it didn't bleed through, but it did ghost quite a bit. So it kind of seeped into the paper. But again, Mementos do that. But there is, here's some, I don't know what you call them. They're kind of like dot markers that I got from Temu. There's Zig Clean Color Dot. I tested mild liners, Jetstream, Pilots, Pentel Lychees, Friction, Zebra, Energel Cleanup, Pilot High Tech C, Uni Jetstream, the pin that came with the triple pin, Uni Jetstream. I'm trying to see if I have it in this pile here, but I don't. Anyhow, I tested tons and tons. Sarasa Clip, Sarasa Mark-On, Sarasa NJK Purple, Pilot Kakuno with the Black Pilot cartridge. This again was some markers from Temu, I think, with hearts. It's called Jimiao, I think is how you pronounce it. So the results were pretty good. The worst ones were Sharpie and the Mementos, and you could not even write in the machine number 7 Tomoe River Paper with a permanent Sharpie. Like, that was not happening. It was gonna bleed through. So yeah, I wouldn't expect that to. I just like to take my tests to the extreme because I'm weird like that. Not only did I test these, I also tested and then by doing like 1 swipe and then 2 and then 3 swipes and then 4 with the mild liners. Those did fine. Uniball, Signo Broad, Stettler Pigment Liners, Artist Loft, Steel Blue, Pentel Energel, that's not the Cleana, Pentel Energel, Stettler Tri-Plus, Pigma Micron. So all of those held up pretty well. Now the thing is, over on this side, you can see where I've laid down water. So I should have recorded this in another video. It should be on my channel. I can't imagine I'd go through all that work and not put it up on my channel. But here's this Artist Loft is the only one that you can see that's poking through a bit. And this one pokes through on all of them. It pokes through on my, in fact, the Pilot G205 pokes through on my Hobonichi 2024 weekly supplement. So if you want to see what that looks like, you can see that here is the Pilot G2. That is this pen right here. It's a very popular pen. It's a lovely pen. And if we flip that page over, you can see that it is seeping through right here. But this pen does not seep through on the Wonderland 222. So here is, in fact, if you want to, I mean, I've used it all over in this planner, but just find a blank page and I will say, let me go towards the end because I'm going to use that page and I don't want to blow my page. All right, so here we'll do see, this is where I would never, like, this is another thing that I love about Wonderland 222 is that with this big thick book, I'm going to take it and go like this, and that helps me to be able to write better. This is a Pilot G205, and I just go through once like this, and my second test I'll go through like this and then go back. And so that, because when you're writing something and then you scribble it out, sometimes you'll go over it, right? And so that was the point of having that test. But you can see how it doesn't bleed through at all. This is Sanzen 52 GSM paper in a Wonderland 222 2024 planner. So there is no bleed through on this Pilot G205. But in the Hobonichi weekly supplement, I did have bleed through with this pen, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. Let me back up because I don't want to throw my pages too. Maybe I was writing extra slow that day. Oops, I gotta do my little box. So there's one, and there's one, and then back up. Maybe it seeped through over time. I'm not sure because it does okay here, but that's not a good example because it's, let me go up one. It's not a good example because it's right behind the Pilot G205. And even with that, I still love this little planner, but I have my own like reasons and purposes for using it. And you can see that there's some pretty, I don't know if you would call it extreme ghosting, apparent. It's apparent. Now where's the page that I did in here? I did not mean for this to turn into a comparison video. I really am just trying to, there. So if you look at the two, you can see a difference. Like I can start to see the bleed wanting to happen right here, whereas I don't see that with, and even where I wrote the word Pilot, you can see it. I feel like the ink, if maybe like giving it time, it would sink in or seep in. This is a 2024, and I haven't heard people complaining about the 2024 Hobonichis, but this is the brand that uses that 47 GSM Sanzen paper. So it could just be that the paper is thinner. Having said that, I mean, I have a whole page here that was written, and well, I was gonna say not like, it's still usable on the other side, but you do see bleed through. I mean, we have to call a spade a spade. You do see bleed through. But there are other pens to use. Like you don't have to, so this is a Pilot Juice Up. Let's see if it bled through. Pilot Juice Up seems to have done okay. The Uni Jetstream pens most definitely do okay. They're ballpoint pens. but whatever. I mean, I'm still using that pen and I'm making it work. Like, it's not gonna deter me for the purposes that I'm using this, which is, you know, sometimes for a master to-do list, I play with it and then I reference pages in my Wonderland 222. But you know, would I want to buy a full-on, full-blown giant planner that is my EDC that does that? Probably not. Nope, that would be a no for me. So back to so that was just an example to show you that the 2024 dated planners and notebooks for Wonderland 222 are the Sanzen Tomoe River Paper. They're the Sanzen Tomoe River Paper, but they are what we would call a good batch, right? We didn't see severe ghosting, bleed through, what have you in my 2024. So it's a good batch. Then, if we go further back here in the years, the 2023 have Tomoegawa machine number 9 paper, and that is for the dated, the undated, and the notebooks. And when we go even further back to the 2022 Wonderland 222s, and these are available right now on their website. As of right now, I have a feeling once word gets out, they're going to fly off the shelves and they're not going to be available anymore. The 2022s do have Tomoegawa machine number 9, and that is also in their dated planners, their undated planners, and their notebooks. Okay, so if you want to get machine number 9, Tomoegawa, original Tomoegawa Tomoe River Paper for machine number 9, you can look on the Wonderland 222 website, which is wonderland222.com, and go look at their previous releases for 2023 and for 2022. All of their notebooks, dated planners and undated planners will be the Tomoegawa machine number 9. The 2024 will be the Sanzen Tomoe River Paper. The 2025 dated planners and notebooks are the Tomoegawa machine number 9, and the undated are the Sanzen paper, and we still have a question mark as to whether or not these are a good or bad batch. And Wonderland 222 is going to do some testing and let us know. Now, here's where I was shook. Wonderland 222 actually has some machine number 7 planners. These are the original Tomoegawa River Paper. They have not announced what they're going to do with these planners or with these books, but they do have them. They pulled them off of the market due to some concerns about the spines. And I've used Wonderland 222 since they came out with their very first book, I believe in 2020. I've never had an issue with the spines. They've always held up very well for me. But I don't know what happened this year, and I'm not sure which year this was. but they do have some machine number 7 notebooks. And they did mention this in their Facebook group. So I don't know what they plan on doing with those. I don't know how many of those that they have, but if you want a chance at getting a machine number 7 original Tomoegawa machine number 7 Tomoe River paper. Okay, wait, I don't want to speak out of line. So what I really should say is if you want to know more about these machine number 7 notebooks that Wonderland 222 have and the potential or possibilities of what they can do with them or what they plan on doing with them, then come on over to the Facebook group for wonderland222.com, because that's probably where you're going to hear about it. It's not really my place to say if anybody would have a chance to have one or not, because I really have no idea what they plan on doing with the books. I just know that they shared in the Facebook group that they do have them, which is exciting. Book, then definitely come over into the Wonderland 222 Facebook group and get on their mailing list so that if they plan to release these in any way, that you can grab a copy. In the meantime, so if you're new to the planner community and you're like, I want to grab up some of the good paper for 2025, this is what I'm going to tell you. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and grab these dated planners. I'm going to grab the machine number 9. I'm going to find what I like before they sell out of the 2025 colors, because they're gorgeous. And I'm going to get some of those. And then I'm going to go back and look at their 2022 and 2023 years and see if there's anything left in their notebooks or their undateds. The undateds, and see if there's anything left there that I can grab to get some of that machine number 9 paper. And then I'm going to be watching here in the Facebook group and on their mailing list to see what they do with these original machine number 7 papers. And I'm going to grab as much of that as I possibly can, especially because I like to art in my planners, and I do use fountain pens. Now, having said all of that, I hope that is very clear. So I'm going to recap one more time, and then I'm going to show you the pen test, the preliminary pen test that I have done thus far, which includes several pens, but not all of them. And maybe we can add a couple today. So Tomoegawa is the originator of Tomoe River Paper. They, for years and years, had Tomoe River Paper produced on machine number 7. This is the holy grail of fountain pen paper that all of the Tomoe River Paper fans know and love. This machine went kaput. They moved to machine number 9 and produced on that for a while. There are many people that believe that machine number 7 paper is superior to machine number 9 paper, but that is the second best runner-up to this. Then it just wasn't working out for them on machine number 9, so they threw in the towel and said, we're done. We're going to sell the rights to make Tomoe River Paper to a company called Sanzen Paper Company. So then Sanzen Paper Company came in and said, all right, we're gonna give this Tomoe River Paper a run. Like, we can do this. So in 2021, they released their first set of Tomoe River Paper, and they have been releasing Tomoe River Paper ever since, from 2021 all the way up to 2025. 2021 is the date that I read. But a lot of the planner companies at this point in 2021 already had paper purchased, like for future stock. So they went on using the Tomoegawa Tomoe River Paper. And some of the companies, like Hobonichi, had enough of the machine number 7 paper that it lasted for years. But that came to an end in various years for various different products of theirs. And so they went over to Sands and was like, hey, can you create us a Tomoe River paper that's a special like 47 GSM thickness? And so they had a custom Tomoe River paper made especially for them. And other companies like Wonderland 222 bought up as much stock, or maybe they had leftover stock. Like, I don't want to put anybody else's narrative in here, but I do know at least one other planner company owner that bought up extra stock of the Tomoegawa Tomoe River paper. And so they used that in their production last year. I don't know what they have in their planner this year. And so Wonderland 222 had some excess paper of the original Tomoegawa Tomoe River paper, and they decided to put it into their 2025 dated planners and their 2025 notebooks. It is not in the undated planner for 2025. It is in their 2022 and 2023 products. It is not in their 2024 products. And then come to find out yesterday that Wonderland 222 also has some B6 books that do still have the original machine number 7 Tomoe River paper. And so they may be offering that to the community at some point. I am not sure. In the meantime, they will be doing some testing that's supposed to be happening today on the Sanzen paper that is in the 2025 undated planners. So if you want machine number 9 Tomoegawa, original Tomoegawa paper, then go to wonderland222.com, grab a dated planner for 2025 or the notebooks for 2025, grab 2023 dated and undated planners or notebooks, or a 2022 dated and undated planners or notebooks, and those will all have the machine number 9 original Tomoegawa Tomoe River paper. There are Sanzen Tomoe River papers in good batches for 2024. So if you are not able to get one of these before they sell out, you could get to 2024. You just saw mine along with the pen testing. It's what I've been using all year. Sanzen Tomoe River paper is not bad paper. So let's make that clear. Sanzen Tomoe River paper is not bad paper. It's not the same as the beloved machine number 7 paper. It's not. But it is still good paper. It's just that for some reason in 2025, there seems to be some reports of bad batches by people, or at best, there's reports of people showing they're noticing a difference between last year and this year. They're noticing differences that, I don't know if it's a difference with the coating on the paper or what, but some of the videos that I've watched and some of the things that I've seen on Reddit, it's pretty unacceptable. And what I've seen so far, the videos that I've seen are for this specialized 47 GSM paper. I have not seen personally myself any pictures or videos for the 52 GSM Sanzen Tomoe River paper with issues, but and actually this should be an arrow drawn from here. Not for the 52, because we don't know that the 52 GSM Sanzen Tomoe River paper is an issue. I have heard of one other brand that it doesn't use the 47 GSM because that is custom made for Hobonichi. So there is one other brand that is using Sanzen Tomoe River paper that people are reporting has issues, and so I'm not going to mention the brand because it's just one or two people that I saw talking about it, and I don't want to do a disservice. I haven't seen it myself, I guess, basically. So if you want original Tomoegawa machine number 9 Tomoe River paper in your planner, go to wonderland222.com. Get a dated planner, get a notebook, those both have it. Or get an older 2023 or 2022 dated, undated planner or notebook, and those have it. And also know that the 2024 Sans and TRP in Wonderland 222 notebooks are good batches. These are good batches. I've been using it for most of this year and it's just fine. Having said that, let's turn to the preliminary pen test that I have done in the 2025 machine number 9 Tomoegawa Tomoe River Paper. All right, so this is the pen test that I did. I used, oh my gosh, so many pens. If you could just see the mess over here on my desk, it's all crazy. So some of these you might be familiar with, some of them you might not be. So let's see, a uni pen, let me see if I can, okay. A uni pen, 01200 in sepia is like a felt tip. It's kind of like a, it's water and fade proof. So it is made for artists that you can lay this pen down and then watercolor over it, and it's not going to bleed into your art. So you might have to give it a few minutes to dry before you do that. But I will tell you, another one I'm just going to say is a black carbon ink. So this is for the artists, the people who like to art in your journal, if you like to watercolor. This platinum carbon ink in black is a wonderful black ink. It's actually a little bit diluted in this pen, but it still shows to be waterproof. So, but again, you do have to let it thoroughly dry, and then you can paint over it. So I am going to show you those in a minute. Another one that is popular for artists are these Pigma Micron. Not just artists, but if you want maybe you're doing memory keeping and you want your paper to stay, your writing to stay in your planner for the rest of your life, and you don't want to, maybe you want to do art, or maybe you just want archival ink. These have archival ink in them, so they're waterproof. They're, I think, fade proof, just like, fade proof, just like these. So those two brands are great. And then if you have carbon ink inside of a fountain pen, these are all wonderful ways to lay down a drawing without it bleeding into your watercolor, your water paints. The Microns, the uni pens have two colors that I could find. They have brown, and that was an 01, and this is an 05. So you can see that the nib is quite a bit thicker. And they also have a black, which I think is actually in my book bag. So, but I did test it right here. Okay, so the uni pens, the platinum carbon in a Jinhao 86 extra fine is what this pen is. You can get 3 of these for like 12 bucks off of Amazon. They're wonderful. They actually write smooth. I wish they were a little bit more fine, but if you want to see an example of the writing, if you write on the thin part, that's how small you can get your paper. Let me see. And if you write, so when I say thin part, I'm talking about writing on it backwards, which you're actually not supposed to do, and if you just write on it regularly, this is what you're gonna see. So there's that. And then if I write on it backwards, which you're not supposed to do, but I do anyway, you can get quite a bit thinner. So I would consider this an extra fine. I would not consider that an extra fine, but that's how the pen writes, and they're super cheap and useful. All right, so that's what this pen is. Then you've got the Pilot G205. This is this famous pen that we just went over how it did bleed through in my little weekly supplement from Hobonichi. So I was very surprised, and that's what the wow is for. So with each of these tests, I went through, I wrote, I scratched through once, and then I scratched through once, and then I backed back up and scribbled over it a second time. For these dot markers, I dotted down once, and then I dotted twice, and then I dotted 3 times. I drew a line, and then I drew a second line while it was wet. It's probably not a good use case scenario that you're going to dot through 3 times. I've never done that. I just like to push the limits on my tests to see how far I can take it. So, oh, am I a little out of frame? It looks like. Okay. So, all right. So we've got the Zig clean dot markers. I've got some Ohuhu markers, the ones that get the frayed ends that the colors are fabulous. They do dry up, and if you're going to spend the money, it's better to just, this is my personal opinion. If I was going to spend the money to get these, which don't have, you know, some of the lids don't even match the color. How do I say it? Some of these, like what you see here, is not exactly what you get here. That one actually does, but some of them don't. Some of them, it's like, what, how, like it has more. That one actually does too, but there are some that, like, maybe it's this one. This lid actually goes on here. First of all, the colors are not numbered, so you don't get, oh, the colors are numbered. My bad. It's just that these don't always match the color that you actually get. Like, and I'm not able to come up with a good example. Well, there's a good example. Okay, see, the color that it laid down is definitely not this mauve, taupey mauve sort of color. It's more of an orange. I love the color, but the pen doesn't reflect it. So that's kind of a bummer, but they do come with numbers, so you can make a little palette in the back of your planner and use them that way. Just be aware that they do fray, and they fray horribly. But here's the thing, if you're going to pay $11 or $12 for a package of these, you could also get an entire package of Tombos for like $15. If you catch them on sale, you can get them for like $14.98, and it's a pack of 10, and you'll get like 10 that go in a color scheme. So I don't know, is it worth it for a few more dollars for ones that actually last? Yeah, I like these because they're shorter, so they're easier to carry around in the little pouches, but whatever. That's just some side information for you. So that's the Ohuhu. Then there's the Memento, which are notorious for bleed through on everything. Even I believe, I don't want to misspeak, but I'm pretty sure even in the original Tomoe River Paper, I'm pretty sure these bled through because I have not used these a lot through the years. I bought them to write across on stamps and stamp down in my Hobonichi years ago, and it didn't work because they bled through the paper. So these bleed through everything. So I would expect that these would bleed through. So then we have a Unipropis Q Dry. That is this one, and I do believe that this also bled through. I'm not sure if it bled through on the machine number 7 paper though. But in every paper since, I believe that it has bled through. I don't remember if it bled through here or not, but we're going to find out. We've got the infamous mild liners. So we know the mild liners. If you don't know mild liners, welcome to knowing mild liners. They're very popular highlighters for in the planner community, and they're popular because they are sort of come in muted colors. They also come in bright, you know, bright out there, blood owl colors, but they have sort of, they're a beautiful way to highlight something without the standard highlighter colors that are like bleh. And so here are some examples. They come in a chisel tip, and they are always double-sided. So there's, you can chisel, like you can write, and then you can, let me see, you can highlight. I think this is this, yeah, I'm losing track of what I have. You can highlight, and then you can take the tip and write on top of it like that. Or you can use this to just draw, and then you have the chisel tip. But the cool thing about these is that they also come in brush tip. And the brush tips are the ones that I like because when I lay down, I don't have to worry about getting that chisel tip perfect. Like, it perfectly fits the grid of the Wonderland 222, so that's cool. But if I get off any kind of way, actually, that's pretty nice. These are a perfect fit for the Wonderland 222 grid in the 2025s, so that's cool. I like these because I can highlight 2 lines at a time, or I can just use the tip of the tip. Actually, I like them both. Now that I'm doing this, I'm like, wow, why this chisel tip fits that grid perfectly. Okay, so we've got the mild liners. We have, I don't know how you spell that, how you say it, Faber Castell Pit Artist Pens. That is this one. I have a couple of these. These are also waterproof. Waterproof, I'm pretty sure they're fade proof as well. Waterproof, it's India ink, maximum light fastness. And so these have a brush nib. So this is that. I also have a beautiful green in this marker, and I have a beautiful green, but I don't see it, so it's probably in my bag as well, and that's fine. So we have one of those in the test. We have the famous Sarasa Mark-On. I've got jelly roll pens, but I have a red one in the test, right? A metallic, and the Pilot. I got Sarasa Clip. We've got the dot. We've got the microns. So there's the micron. There's 2 of those. I've got the vintage Sarasa clips. I call this the Uni Fatty just because I don't know what the name of it is. It's probably on here, but it's so small I can't read it. Anyway, it's in Mandarin Orange, whatever this is. Oh, Uniball 1. Well, I called it Uni Fatty. Let me put Uniball 1. It's a 0.38. Just called it Fatty because I didn't know the name of it. What else? What else do we have in here? The Uni Jetstream, the Sarasa Clip, more Uni Jetstream, different colors. The Pilot Juice Up, that is another famous pen in the planner community. And that is, right, is this it? No, that is not it. This is the Uni Signo. That is also on here somewhere. Uni Signo, right there. Blue, black, and 0.28. Where's the Juice Up? This is the Pilot Juice Up. It is a popular pen in the planner community. I personally don't love the body of it. There's no, I like the curvy. I like, you know, this one or the Sarasas. I don't know, it just seems to have a better grip. This one is just so straight up and down that it just doesn't work for my hand. But it's a great pen. And I have found ways to take the insert out of this pen and put it into pens that I do like. And so there's a little hack for you. All right, and then here's a Pilot it's a High-Tech C. Is that made by Pilot? Yes, it is. So this is a Pilot High-Tech C. 0.3. That is also a popular pen in the planner community. Let me see what else. Is there anything that I have missed? We could do a pink micron. So these microns come in various different colors. Gray, brown, sepia, pink, blue, and I have multiple colors. I just don't have them all out right now. Like I said, I am in the process of moving, so some of my stuff is just scattered around, but we will do this one. And they also come in different tips. So they come in more like a pen tip, and they also come in these felt tip sort of tips. The felt tip tips. Here is a jelly roll in, what color was this? These take a long time to dry, but I found some of these colors that really went nicely with the Wonderland 222 pen. I don't want to write on this because here, I'll make it right. I'll do it right here. I'll take one for the team. I don't want to write on this because, but look at that. Like, it's such a close beautiful match. It's just that these take forever to dry. Like if I turn the page and close it, see what it does? It's gonna come off on the other page. Anyway, whatever. All right, so let's do this Pigma Micron. And this one is an 05, yeah. And I write hard, like I press hard on the paper. So that could be part of the problem with the Hobonichi, the little one. I do press hard on the paper, so that's just how I've always written. But anyhow, there's the Micron Pink. Got the Uni Jetstream. Is there anything else? The Uni Clip. I'm just gonna do the Sarasa Clip. Sarasa Clip. I'll just do an orange right here, and I'll do the double. All right. I think that's good. Is that this one? Yeah, I already did that one. I think that's good for now. And if there's a pen that you want to see, please request it. I will be doing fountain pen inks in future date when I can get time to do it. This is taking a lot. I think I'm like 2 to 3 hours in on time wise, and I still have to edit parts of this video out because I showed some of my private information in my other planner. Oh wait, no, I think I'll just take that whole part out. Anyway, all right, so that's what we have for now. So what I'm going to show you right now on this preliminary, that's what we have now for this preliminary pen test. So what I do want to show you really quick, actually I'm going to turn the page first because I don't want the paper to, I don't want the water on the paper to do anything to this pen test so far. But those are all of the pens. You can take a screenshot, zoom in, and take a look. So let's take a look on the other side and see what actually happened. So here you have it. All of the pens held up very, very well, with the exception of this pen, which I expected because it bleeds through on everything. This is a generic pen, Artist Loft, so I think it came from Michaels. Just not a great pen to use in general. It leaks through on multiple brands. That one is right here, but it didn't do as bad as I thought it was going to do, if you want the honest truth. Like I thought it would like really bleed through that, but it didn't. The other one was the Pilot G207. So the G205 did totally fine. Let's find, where's the G205? G205. So that's up here, right here. So that one did fine, but the Pilot G207, not so much. Like there is quite a bit of shadowing on that one, but it is a thicker nib, and that is why. So and it's also a very juicy pen, and I had not used this pen in a long time. But if I just go here and put an X, oh, now it's not very juicy because I don't know why. This doesn't even look like the same pen, does it? G207, black. Pilot G207. Those look like two different pens, so that's weird. Was I pressing hard? Let me press hard. Pilot. I'm pressing really hard. But they don't look, maybe it's also because it dried overnight. That could be it, but if I look at the pens, they don't look the same. That is weird. I'm gonna come back and look at this tomorrow because I wrote this last night, but it doesn't, like the color doesn't even look the same. So I'm baffled. Like, was that a different pen and I didn't know it? Ah, that's got me. That's so weird. Like the ink looks a little more bluish, and this black looks like it has a little more, I don't know what, green in it. Huh, that is weird. Well, anyhow, let's see what it does. So, yeah, that's really got me wondering if I had a different pen and I didn't know it. I was up really late doing this test last night, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna let this sit for 24 hours and come back and check it, but this is what I just wrote with this Pilot G207. Again, I had not used the pen in a while, so maybe it was just really juicy at the tip. But it does okay right here, and it does just fine right here. Let me do, did I go over it twice? I'm sorry, you guys. Something seems off on this one. Let me, 1, 2. Maybe as the color dries, like it looks like it's more brown or something. I don't know. I don't know if that shows up on camera. Maybe it's because the pen ink is fresh. But I saw the dark shadowing yesterday, but today it's not. So I don't know what to think about that. That is questionable. Now I'm questioning myself. We'll see. Maybe it dries different. Like maybe it looks different after it's been dry for 24 hours. That is a possibility. Anyhow, those are the only two that really had like dark ghosting, or I would say a little bit of bleed through. Like I'm gonna call this a little bit of bleed through. It is what it is, and it's important to speak what it is. But there are all of these other pens, including the Pilot G205 that did absolutely fine. And there's the Pilot High Tech C. So I do want to point out that while I was looking at the results for the Pilot High Tech C, I did notice to the right of that when I was rewatching this video that there is a slight bit of bleed through to the right of the High Tech C. Now that is the mild liners, but it is the double pass. So remember I told you on the left hand side I did 1, and then on the right hand side I did 2 strokes. So I layered 2 of the mild liners, and so that little bit of bleed through that you see is the double pass where there is 2 layered there. So if you do use mild liners, just be mindful of how many passes you go through with the marker. I am very pleased with the results. I am very pleased with the results. I know that if I want, honestly, for my thick black headers, I use this platinum carbon anyway. I've also been using this uni pen because that gives a nice dark, excuse me, a nice dark black. And in fact, if you look at this, where was it? The uni pen, where did it go? Oh, it's in my bag. It's in my bag because I use it all the time. The black uni pen like this, it gives a deep, I like that like deep contrasting black. And the Sarasa Mark-On also gives that deep black. The Pilot G2 does as well. I'm just a little bit, I don't know what to think of this, because what I'm seeing on the paper is not, these are not the same. I don't know what to think. But if you look at the Pilot G207 that I used today, yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, the boldest is this uni pen. The platinum carbon would probably be, it looks a little bit gray here because I do have it diluted. So I was actually really surprised that it stayed waterproof in some of my art from yesterday because it is diluted. So, but it did. So just to show you, this is wet. I hope you can see the dew on my hand. And if you come over and paint over these, now you notice if I come over here and paint on this mild liner, see how it pulls that ink off, and I don't know if I could grab something off of one of these. Usually like the water-based. Oh, I didn't test Tombow, so let's just do a Tombow. And I will show you with the Tombow. Here's the thing. Sometimes when you get inks and then you go over the ink itself, it might cause, and especially if you're using like a bunch of water, like thick water, it might cause bleed through. So if you're doing watercolor type of stuff, you want to go easy on the water. You want to go easy on the water and maybe have like a little dabber available. I can say on the machine number 7 paper, it was easy to like draw with a Tombow or something and then drag it and smear it out. And that smearability is not here. Like it, I don't even want to say like it was. Yeah, it's not really here like it was in the machine 7 paper. But anyhow, so there, let me clean the brush off now because I don't want to drag that over. But that just shows you the platinum. Ooh, that was really juicy. The platinum, the Pitt artist pens. Let me see. The microns are supposed to be, yeah, waterproof. So if you want to do any type of arting, this I just wrote with, so let's see if it drags any. Nope. If you want to do any type of art, these microns are great, and the uni pens are great, and the platinum carbon ink is great. And I'm using this in a Jinhao 86 extra fine, and that is how it writes, unless you flip it around and cheat like I do, and then you can get a really fine line. Okay, that's enough. This video is going to be really, really long. I think I'm going to cut everything out. I did do a B6 walkthrough before talking about the Tomoe River Paper, but I think I'm just going to make this a Tomoe River Paper video and leave it at that, because that's going to be long enough in and of itself. If you know facts about Tomoe River Paper that I have left out, or if you see that I've gotten some wrong, like, I'm trying to be careful about putting my own narrative in here, but it's like, I only have my small little perspective. I haven't sat and watched a whole bunch of, you know, interviews or anything about any of this. It's just things that I've picked up through the years of like, hey, this is the nuts and bolts of what's happened. Here's what we've got today with Wonderland 222 that's available. And if you want some, go get it. I can tell you that I do feel a difference. I feel a difference, and I hear a difference in the, what people call the crinkle when I turn the page between this and the Sanzen from 2024. I definitely can tell a difference with that. I also can definitely tell a difference when I write on this paper. The right feels smoother. It doesn't seem to, I don't know what's the right word. It glides. The pen glides easier. So yeah. Anyhow, thank you for watching. If you want to add anything to the conversation about the Tomoe River Paper, let me know if I'm even pronouncing it right. Is it Tomoe or is it Tomo? Tomoegawa or Tomoegawa? Is it Tomoe River Paper or Tomoe River Paper? I've heard it pronounced both ways. I don't really know. So if you know, let me know in the comments. And if I've gotten any of the details wrong, let me know in the comments. I'm just doing my best to share what I know for the people who are new, who are interested in getting some of the good stuff. And hopefully I've done a good enough job at that. All right, I will see you next time. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. You doing so helps my channel to get exposure, but it also helps the Wonderland 222 Planner to get exposure. And if you're new here, welcome. And if you've stayed in it this long, thank you. And definitely come on over and join us in the Facebook group over at the Wonderland 222 Facebook group if you're not already over there. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. And until then, I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Bye.